Hey, this is the dynamic, daring, one of a kind diva Denise Silas. Super excited to be here today with Frankiettia Godwin. We are here to talk about Feel the Teal. As you guys know, I host, and I've been hosting for the last 14 years in memory of my sister, Ovarian Cancer Awareness. The event we've had is Feel the Teal in Your Hottest Sales. This is September, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, so that's why we are making this recording. And I discovered that my friend here is an ovarian cancer survivor. So you just never know who is in your midst and what they have gone through. So today, first of all, just introduce yourself and tell us a little about what you do.
Sure. My name is Frankiettia Godwin. I'm the owner of Impact Chaser LLC, which is an educational consultancy company. So ACT prep, SAT prep, resumes, cover letters, speaking engagements. I do all of those things. And I am an ovarian cancer survivor.
Wonderful. And we met because she was in a contest. That's how we met.
Yep.
She was pitching about her business and we were blown away with that. So I love being around amazing people. So, hey, I'm so glad that we've connected.
Absolutely.
So first, tell me, how did you discover that you had ovarian cancer?
So I had just got married, and after we got married, one day I just felt the top of right below my stomach. I would press it and it felt like I had to use the restroom, like I had to urinate, right? And then I started noticing how I was trying to lose weight. I was making sure I was eating right, drinking water, but my stomach, I always felt and looked so bloated in the midsection. So then I discovered I had PCOS, right? Which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And so I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's just that. So I started going to my doctor. I went to my doctor and I told her, I said, something's not right. Because when I urinate, she kind of brushed it honestly under the rug. And so I was like, okay. And then my cycle was so heavy. Denise, I would be bleeding through my clothes. And I was like, I don't know if this is normal. So guess what I did? I went back to the doctor. I demanded that something had to be done because I don't think this is right. So they put me on progesterone or something, hoping that it'll help the cycle and birth control. Okay. So my cycle got a little lighter, and it got more consistent, but something was still off. And so I was telling my husband at the time, I said, something's not right. Because then I would be walking and I would just be having pains on the sides, right below my belly. I'm like, something is not right. I went back to the doctor a third time. She said, okay, we're gonna do a biopsy. I don't see anything. Something's still not right, okay?
And
at this point
of
August, so it went from August from me realizing something was off. At this point, it's December.
Okay.
She does the biopsy in January, okay? And the results come back, she says, nothing's wrong. I'm like, something is wrong and I'm not crazy, okay? Because I'm eating right, I should be losing weight. My cycle is still heavy, okay? Fast forward to April, I had just lost a close friend to cancer. And her funeral was on my birthday. I'll never forget it that year. It was April 2016. So I go to the doctor maybe April 8th or something. And she says, oh, well, I guess I'll go ahead and do a vaginal ultrasound. She does a vaginal ultrasound and she says, oh my God, how did I miss this? And so Denise, I was like, miss what? What do you see? I had a tumor on my ovaries that was 18 centimeters. It was the size of a balloon.
Wow. How did she miss that?
How did you miss that?
Wow.
So I had to advocate, and I was trying to get into other doctors, but I felt like nobody wanted to take it on, And so she said, okay, well, I'm going to schedule you for a surgery so we can get it out, but I can't do it because it could be cancer. I said, yeah, right. There's no way it's cancer, right?
Wow. And why do they throw that cancer word around so easily? It could be cancer.
It could be cancer.
Don't tell me that until you know it's cancer.
That's what I'm saying. I said it could have been a fibroid, anything. I don't know, right? So they scheduled the surgery for May. Ironically, we were in the process of moving to Austin, Texas, May 30th. My surgery was May 16th. I had to go to West Cancer Center. I went to Baptist, but my oncologist was from West Cancer Center. They took everything. They took the ovary out. And so the doctor comes back in, once I wake up. She says, okay, it was cancer. You were in stage 2A, okay? She explained to me that ovarian cancer survivors normally have to go through chemo. Denise, I guess, in shock or something, because I was laughing.
Wow. Wow.
And I said, yeah, there's no way I had cancer. Like, I guess I was processing. I don't know. But I was laughing, and she looked at my husband and she said, do you want kids? And he was like, yeah, because we don't have any kids. And I was like, okay, so I waited, I got married, now we want to have kids, now I have cancer. Yeah, right. And so she said, we're going to have to take it before the tumor board because this is a unique situation because you want kids. If we put you through radiation and chemo, etc., you might not be able to have kids. Mind you, 2 weeks we're moving to Austin, Texas. I've already found an oncologist at Texas Oncology, Dr. Helen Dinklesfield, ironically, who's from Memphis. Amazing. It gets crazier, but I'm gonna. So we found that out, and then we moved. When we moved, we found out that Memphis misdiagnosed me. Right? So it was cancer. It was ovarian cancer, but it was ovarian. What do you call that? The word is on the tip of my tongue. People that always have heavy bleeding. Endometrial. Yes, it was endometrial ovarian cancer, which was, after doing research, it's still ovarian cancer, but it's different, right? And so I had to go through another process. Excuse me, and I had to get a DNC done and all this other crazy stuff. And they took it before the board. The board said, even though we know she should have like 4 to 6 weeks of radiation, we decided not to do that. Okay. And so I'm like, okay, what does that mean for me, right? They said, well, you want to get pregnant. We're going to give you 1 year to get pregnant. Then you need to have a hysterectomy. At this point, it is July, August. I'm starting a new school, new place, don't know anybody.
Yeah.
What do we do? She said, you're going to have to go see a fertility specialist. So we went to go see a fertility specialist, took the pills and everything. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Once we took the medicine, I ovulated, but we did not get pregnant. So it started getting really frustrating, right? Like, okay, why can't I just get pregnant like everybody else? And still having PCOS, right? Hormonal changes, all this crazy stuff. So in April, when I just said, forget it, I'm over it. I'm done going to the fertility specialist. I'm almost at a year. I may not be able to have children. I was in Papados for my birthday, which was Easter, April 16th. It was Easter 2017. And I asked my husband, I said, you don't smell that blood on that fish? He was like, no, what are you talking about? And lo and behold, I took a pregnancy test. I had to test one test because I was testing to see if I was ovulating with those strips. And those 2 lines were strong, and I just screamed like, oh my God, we're pregnant. Awesome. I did it the next day, and then I went to the doctor and found out my son was due on Christmas Day.
Wow.
And I went into labor on Christmas. He was born on the 27th.
Wow.
Yep.
They say unbelievable things that happen, but when God's in control,
yes,
God's in control.
Yes.
So you've had him. Did you have to still go with the procedure of the hysterectomy?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had him in 2017. Fast forward to 2022. I had to have the hysterectomy. And they explained to me, well, this doesn't mean that the cancer won't come back. But if you take all of it, how can I have ovarian cancer? I don't have any ovaries, right? I wish that I would have saved some eggs, but I didn't. So I went forward with the hysterectomy. This is where my life started spinning. 2022, I had the hysterectomy. March 22nd. My grandma died March 3rd. I remember. Granny, and then my cousin passed away while I was from breast cancer, while I was healing. So I started feeling weird. I'm like, something's wrong. Listen to this body. Something's wrong. I'm hot. I've got fever. And so I'm calling the doctor, the West Cancer Center, and they're like, well, we're just going to send you some medicine because it could just be an infection. I'm like, it's an infection, I need to be seen. Plus, I didn't like the way, okay, so they did that first. When I found out my cousin passed away, my pressure went up. The hole where they cut me just started gushing out water. So I was rushed to the hospital over here to Baptist. And I felt like, okay, something's going to be wrong with me healing because of, and my pressure was like 200 over. It was stroke level. So turns out, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks of me begging them to see me, once again, advocating for yourself, right?
Yes.
Because these doctors will just brush you off, and you have to be so in tune with yourself. So considering I no longer have a womb to birth, I'm meditating, I'm taking estradiol and everything. I'm having hot flashes, so I'm basically going into menopause at 30, however old I was at the time. I had to finally, I was able to get to my doctor because I had leakage, and she says, okay, I need you to go to Baptist right now, okay? We're gonna do something, and you'll be on the womb back. She said it just like this, okay? So mind you, I don't know what she's talking about, Denise.
Right.
So I'm like, I gotta go right now. How long be in the hospital? She was like, a few days. And so I said, okay.
Like it's just a matter of
Like
fact.
it's just, yeah, it was.
This is what we do.
Denise, I had to get my son to someone, and I went to the hospital, and I was checking in, and a lady, she just grabbed my hand. She was like, you okay? And I was like, I don't think so. She was like, well, your surgery's gonna be tonight, but it's a lot. This is a lot. I said, okay. So I'm walking into the room in Baptist, and there was a scripture that was on the wall that was a reminder that God is with the brokenhearted, right? And that God is with you. And so that night, because I wasn't understanding, I did everything the doctor asked me to do. Why am I going through this, right? I've lost my granny. I've lost my cousin. All of this to cancers, okay? So I'm just really emotional, like, what in the world? So I go in there and have my surgery, and there's another young lady in there, and I'm like, why are you here? She said, yeah, such and such was my doctor too. I got an infection too. So we both have infections from the same doctor. All right, what are the odds? Yeah. So I have the surgery, not knowing they had to cut me. It was 10 centimeters deep. I was on the womb vac. So when I woke up, my stomach is cut wide. It's wide open. Okay, and I'm like, what? I can't I'm like this because it's a lot. Not knowing the degree, right, of which this really is. So they're like, yeah, the wound nurse is gonna come. She gotta clean your wound and everything. You talk about painful. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was in the hospital like 5 days. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I had to have a wound nurse that came to clean my wound because I was on a wound vac, and you could see, because now I had to heal from the inside out. That was the only way to get all the infection. So I got this little purse that I carry with these strings, and all this happened because of the ovarian cancer, okay? It all started because of that, and it's just sucking all the infection out, and you can just see it all. Oh, wow. I was down from from April 30th to like July, because it was, and then the left side of my stomach ended up being like this, and the right side was flat. So then I had to go through reconstructive surgery. In December, I had to go to the doctor because of the way that doctor cut me.
It wasn't healing, right?
It was healing, but the left side, I was like more fat on this side, and my right side was flat. So I'm like, okay, now my body is, which is affecting my confidence and how I'm feeling. Now they say, oh, you need to go through reconstructive surgery. I'm like, what is that? They were like, well, a pennilectomy, aka tummy tuck. So my core, because I had to have a C-section, my core has been through so much trauma. So in March of that year, I said, I just started in December when I was told that. I just went on a strict fast. I worked out twice a day. I lost like 40 pounds, and I got a tummy tuck in March. Because they had to make me enable with what they had left from the scar. If you see my stomach now, you'll never know I had anything done or anything wrong with me. They did such a great job. I had to go to Miami though. So that cancer, that ovarian cancer thing, the effects of it is lingering, right? So the surgery, that was 2016. My son is 7 now. 6. I'm sorry, he's 6, about to be 7. So I tell any woman, if you're saying you're cramping too bad, oh, I'm bloated, I keep trying to lose weight and I can't. You notice you're hot. Sometimes you got chin hair, what is called hirsutism or something like that, where your mustachy, chin hairs, everything. You yearn for sweet stuff all the time. All of those things are symptoms that you need to pay attention to, especially your cycle, pay attention to what it's doing,
When you're
pay attention
breathing.
to what's passing, because it was a lot of clots, you know. And so, yeah, that's my journey.
Wow. So do you have to do anything because they caught it early, which is good, but only because you kept being persistent with that. So that's one of my girlfriends, Katrina Kimball. She said, always you got to be an advocate. You have to advocate for your health. Don't let them tell you it's not a big deal when you know it's a big deal for you, because you only know your body, but you have to pay attention. If you're not paying attention to your body, you don't know. You just stop brushing things off, because the bloating, the constant urination, the those are things that we just take naturally.
Yeah, like, I'm
rampant, okay.
Yep.
But you have to pay attention to that, and that's why often ovarian cancer is once it's diagnosed, it's in the latter stages, because we just stop paying attention to the things that were happening to our bodies, because they call it the silent cancer for that reason. So do you have to take any additional care as a result of your
I have to continue to go to my cancer doctor, my oncologist. At least, pap smears are now like every 6 months for me. Even though I don't have, everything's gone, but just to be sure. And then they have to pay attention to my cancer markers and everything to make sure the levels are right. And so stress, I don't manage stress. I just eliminate it, because I know that adds to it. And so I think I even took the genetic testing. Because cancer runs in my family. My granny had breast cancer. She's still alive. My mom has a rare form of leukemia, blood cancer. She's still here. I have another family member that's dealing with some stuff with her breast as well. So they were like, no, after doing the testing, it wasn't that. It just happened. And so I've been real key on, like, why did this happen to me? I think it was the food I was eating along with stress. I think a lot of this stuff has to do with the food we eat, and sometimes things just happen. So I'm literally a testimony on two legs at what God can do. So I just trusted God, but I advocated for myself. And I'll tell anybody, if you notice, bother them, get a second, third, fourth opinion.
Right.
Because they don't know it all.
And the thing with ovarian cancer, if I recall, is that because there's no screening for it, so you have to, the normal, even if when people say, well, the pap smear, that's not necessarily going to be the indicator or you find it. It's like they have to be looking for it.
Yes, you have to ask for that.
Yep, and you have to dig deeper, and just if you know you're still feeling it, go and dig deeper. Like, so what else can you do to look? Where else can you look?
Yeah, give me a biopsy, but also give me a vaginal ultrasound now, so that you can see my ovary and see what's going on. Because when I press it right here, this hurt, or my fallopian tubes, and especially if you're having issues with conceiving. That's something you need to look into to make sure you don't have ovarian or any tumors or anything on your ovaries or your fallopian tubes.
So what I heard, biggest thing is be an advocate for your health. Keep going back. Don't let someone tell you, no, it's not. Keep going back. And then I would also say is, make notes of it. When you feel something, if you went the first time, they said it's nothing, you're still feeling something, start journaling what happened, what day it happened, what you were doing when you felt that, because sometimes that can also help them to identify what needs to be. When my sister got diagnosed, she had to have an additional surgery, but at the point she was going through, they said that she had acid reflux. So then she kept having issues, and they finally decided to have surgery, and that's when they identified it. So and that's a regular thing, that bloating, that all of that, the urination, all of that is important. So be aware of it, and don't be afraid to ask your doctor and to request them, even when they say it's not anything, because if you keep feeling something is there. They just may have to dig a little bit deeper. What else would you want to tell them?
I would tell them to trust God and know that your life matters, right? And just like Denise said, consistently advocating, keeping that journal of your cycle. There was an app I was using, I think it was called like the My Period app or something, and I would write down notes like, today I felt like this. The reason how I knew something was really wrong was when me and my husband at the time finally consummated, I fainted. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm like, no, I mean, you did good, husband, but that's not why. Something is wrong. I'm like, something is wrong. And so the intercourse kind of showed me that, like, something's off, because I felt so, like, just out of it. I'm like, something's not right.
Right.
Something is not right. And so paying attention to your body, using that app to look at the symptoms, writing those down. Fatigue. I was so tired. God, I had never been that tired before. And taking vitamins and things like, I was still tired. And I was teaching seniors in Fraser. And I said, I'm just so tired. And my baby's like, something's wrong, Ms. G. Like, you need to see what's going on. But I was like, at first I brushed it off. Don't brush it off. Write it all down in a journal. Trust God. Go seek someone. Do your research on good doctors. Dr. Jessica Ruffin is a good doctor. A good, what is she? Gynecologist.
Okay.
Yeah, a good gynecologist in the area. She was really good. But just keep looking for other people to like talk to about this, and don't take no for an answer until you get a vaginal ultrasound so that you can see it and stay on them. Because I was in stage 2A. It wasn't 1. I'm in the middle. That's why they felt like I was going to need radiation. But because I wanted a child and all that, God just worked it out where I didn't have to go through it. Because your life matters. Because I needed to be here. And you need to be here too. So just pay attention to your body, like she said. And don't just say, hey, I'm just bloating because I'm on my period this month.
Right.
No. Check it out.
Right.
Yep.
No. Yes. Information.
Yep.
You go start talking to people.
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
Don't be afraid to get the information, because sometimes we won't get the information because we don't want to hear the answer. Well, that answer could save your life, because had she not, if she kept going on, then she might have been discovered in stage 3 or 4.
Yeah, my
which
funeral
is
would
hope.
have been the following year,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, because
That's what they told me. Because it spreads quickly. Everyone that I know who has someone that had ovarian cancer, none of them survived. And they were telling me that most people who end up living, it was like 30% at that time. It wasn't a lot.
And they're expecting it to continue to increase the number of people that do not survive ovarian cancer. So be one, and that's why I tell people all the time. I said I will continue to talk about this ovarian cancer. If one person just says, "Well, I didn't know that," that could be the life that was saved.
Yeah.
So get the information. Cancer come in all colors. Cancer ribbon is in all colors.
That's right.
And Feel the Teal is one of them. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you for allowing me to share my
I
story.
appreciate that. I
You are more
appreciate
than
you
welcome.
guys. So it's not over. September is still happening.
Feel the teal.
And you don't have to just donate for ovarian cancer in the month of September. So it's they do research all year long.
Yes.
We're impacting people all year long. So you guys have a fantastic rest of the day.
All right. Have a good day on purpose. Thanks again. Much love, Denise.